What up? What up? What up? Yeah, it's I'm a little late. It's 9:26. El Pastor. El Pastor had to take a massive bathroom break before starting. Hold up, hold up. I'm just gonna go straight into it. Um, this cold is getting worse. Yeah, so remember our disclaimer as usual. Day trading is risky. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay. We got BEAT as the only stock I'm really watching out here. Damn, there's a 2-minute warning. No opening statement here today. Just straight into it, which is fine. The only major thing that we want to do a little bit better today, as we already know, is size. As usual, I'm going to be pretty vocal. I'll talk about my entries as I'm looking to get in, and I'm going to share how much I'm up on the day, assuming I'll be up on the day. If we are red, we'll also share, where we are on the day, giving, um, you know, giving insight as we go. BEAT, this is the one I'm watching at right now. We have a minute and 10 seconds to the open. Of course, I'm looking for something that can give a potential uptrend. And so far here, the last 5-10 minutes, we've curled up a little bit off of the VWAP. We're up about 10-15 cents off those levels. Can we get over 150 and then, potentially get up there to 175, $2? This is the similar price range which we saw yesterday that did well. And so hopefully today we can see some more follow through in this, price point. So BEAT, allow me to have this dance here coming into the open. No pre-market trades. Haven't really been trading pre-market at all. So watching here into the open. MNTS and ENVB were others that I kept an eye on, but they didn't really hold up well. CGTL, I can take a quick peek, see if it's holding up. Yeah, CGTL, that one is holding up. I can watch that one on the other screen. As you're tuning in, be sure to hit the thumbs up. Again, we had a bit of a bathroom break, which is why we had the later start to the stream. This thing is right here at 50. Does it have what it takes to push through early? The key will be us holding up tightly and eventually breaking through this level. If it sells off down there to 120s, that's kind of it. More than likely for this one. Small trade here in at 50. Green $70 there. Or just watching to see if it holds up and continues. So break of 50 holding up so far. Now the key is, can we hold up the level of 50 and eventually continue over time. That's going to be the key here for this stock. I'm going to add back 52 and watching and waiting here, adding back another 2,000 shares. I want to see 60, 65, 70. If this is going to be strong early, you know, tight backstop, not looking to give it too much of a stop here. Can we hold our levels and continue upwards? Cutting at 48. That's going to put me back to flat. 48. We had 60 high. Throwing out another order here, 50 to try again. Our 1 minute candlestick there, somewhat aggressive. You know, can we hold up? If not, it's just kind of a one candle kind of move here. So green 70 bucks to red 70 bucks there. Not much. Good attempt for that to potentially open up though, right? But again, the first minute of the day, sometimes you can see something good early. Quick rejection there. Or have to hope for a red to green. Looking at the others, CGTL, not much right now. BDRX, gonna check out some others. IRBT, this one is, you know, closer to the highs. Highs around 29. Right now I'm gonna size down because the stock that I thought that could do something early did nothing. So I want to be patient and keep things tight until we see something hold up the uptrend. There's 48 for BEAT. Is it worth a starter here? I'm going to throw out really small size. I like that we are bouncing off the VWAP, but, you know, we're still in a place where it's hard to say if we can see some strength. So baby size here. Taking a starter on IRBT as well. IRBT, we're at 32, which is pretty much the pre-market highs. My starter isn't any size, it's 160 shares. Just to kind of see if the stock wants to do something, and then, you know, if we can hold up 30s here, I can go up to like 1,200, maybe 2,000 shares. But again, want to take it slow to make sure we get some confirmation. This is IRBT on my other screen here. I'll switch it over time here. You know, we're seeing 42, 43. Can we see something more out of this push here? So being that it is holding up for now, if we can if we can see something good here, I'm gonna add right there 35. Watching with a tight stop here. And cutting it. 600 shares. Not a great trade there. We did catch the dip though, 23 to 28, a couple cents back up, but also 600 shares. But not a great trade overall there. We're back below the pre-market high. So that's a $50 loss. And I think the pullback is fine. It's a little bit bigger than I would have expected there, but can we retake the pre-market high and continue on an uptrend here for IRBT? BEAT, it's still, you know, trying. I think if we can break over 50s where it looks a little bit better. I'm still keeping it up in case we see the red to green. You know, maybe it's worth a starter again at some point. IRBT, okay. All right. Not too bad. IRBT back up to 40. A little bit more range than I would have expected, but then again, we are a $4 stock, right? I'm gonna switch this screen to over to the other one here. Let's see. BEAT. Oh, you son of a, come on. That takes so long to do. Okay, there we go. Whenever I switch the screens, I have to switch I have to switch my level 2s as well, which does take time. Yeah, this is good. Now I can see the 5-minute chart too, which could have given me some insight for that last setup. So we got a high 48. It seems slow and steady for now, although we are getting decent volume, right? We're getting about 500,000 shares a candle here. The last red candle was a good size from 45 to 25, a little on the bigger side. See, this stock right now, the way how it's looking, it doesn't seem like we should have any issues with selling off Christmas tree style. Like, it seems to be holding up. It's a matter now of just getting some good setups here. This one looks like we can see a good uptrend over the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. We're at the highs. There's a seller here. At 50, there's a seller. We got a couple of orders for 30,000 shares. $45 to 55 there, a bit of a boost. Small position over the half dollar. The next pullback should be pretty interesting here. I'm gonna definitely look to load up on some size. The key will be the stock not just Christmas treeing back down to 420, right? So that's gonna be the risk. But the risk I am willing to take. This is a good move over 50 so far. Only 600 shares at 53 and scaling out. So just waiting now for another setup here. You see the breakout, what happened there, right? We go from 45 to 55, like, with no volume. So the sellers, they just disappeared, is what it seems happened. No chance to get in before the break. So just waiting here for the next good setup. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, nice. I'm all out and just waiting. IRBT is actually a continuation, right? How many times have we looked at this stock? 3 times? The third time? I actually got to check my daily chart. What was that level? 495 was a big level. Okay. I'm gonna take my first starter and watching. In about 1300 so far. Watching to take some more if we get the opportunity to. I'm gonna take half right there. Hopefully we get a range here. If it's just one and done, I'm hoping we get a good range. Now I can keep taking more shares. We do have a new candlestick, so I want to watch out for that on the bigger time frame. So holding with an average here 54 and watching and waiting. Adding. I do have to be careful because we are seeing a 5-minute candlestick that's red. If it's going to Christmas tree, we're not going to hold up, so I don't want to have the stop too big. It looks like it's struggling. It looks like it's struggling a bit. Will we see a bounce here? I'm going to reduce the risk, which is going to bring me back to flat. We're kind of like flirting at our like 50 level, but we're not quite reclaiming it as quickly as I like, so reducing the risk a little here. What's this? Okay. So I got like 1,600 shares at 50, and it's stopping out right there. It's coming down. Good trade. So it looks like this is going to Christmas tree back down to the lows. The daily setup looks pretty good too, but that'll put us red 190 on this stock. And down 270 here after start. Not bad, but we're kind of selling off pretty early here. We pulled it up right here at 35, 9:35 market time. We took a loss in this pullback coming down. And smaller trade going up, you know, kind of flat on the day there. 600 shares on the breakout at 50, which wasn't a lot of size. So small green about $90 on that trade. And then red on that last trade right there at 50. 1,600 shares in at 50, out at 38 right there. Stop at 42, but, you know, kind of taking some slippage as it came down fast. So from a small green to red on that one. That's gonna happen every time, right? I mean, if the setup is going to hold up for an uptrend, you know, it's like free money. If we're gonna see a Christmas tree, I'm gonna lose in the pullback. So the goal is always to find a strong stock, which this one did seem to be good for an uptrend here, but a very early backside. A very early backside here. I did unwind some from the 50 level initially in this red candle. I'm like, man, it's looking a little weaker to reduce the risk. And the red to green started, but you just, you know, didn't have the strength. BBIG, so pretty decent there. BBGI rather. BBGI. BBGI halted up. So a little bit of a red start, not really seeing anything holding up for an uptrend. BBGI, is that the one that's going to hold up here? I mean, we kind of already had a move, right? From 7, the pre-market highs were 745. It's already up there at 9. Volume. Volume looks good. It seems like this might have been the one then. BBGI. Looks like this one might have been the one. IRBT, I thought with that daily chart, we were looking pretty good to retake 95, but so red 270 here to start. And on the sidelines, resumption for BBGI. 3 minutes to go. I hate to show up so late to this type of move, Opportunity will cost. It's been a long time since we said that, actually, because these days we're only seeing one stock move at a time. Opportunity costs. The time that you're spending looking at one stock is time that you're not spending looking at another. And BBGI curled up nicely here. We got a couple other stocks hitting the scans. BDRX and ASPC, a little higher price. I'm like thinking about this one. It's obviously strong. We've halted up twice. The third halt is the one I don't really want to get involved in. It definitely will be high risk, high reward on the setup here. Time. 1 minute 52 seconds. It's showing slightly higher resumption. I think I'll watch the dip and rip, smaller size. And if we can start to see candlesticks in a setup, that's where I can look to size up. So hopefully once it does pull back, we can hold up a decent base. And then, throughout the consolidation, there'll be an opportunity to be in. So for me, I'll be watching the red to green once we do see the pullback for a retest of the highs. Daily chart also looks fine. About 1 minute to the resumption. CGTL looks okay. CGTL looks okay on the red to green. We got 28 seconds to resumption. $9.35. We got a couple seconds. Here we go. Give me a sweet dip. No entry there. And it's an instant halt down too. Look at that. False halt down. Definitely the range on this one is like back in the day kind of range. I'm surprised to see a stock move like this. It's halting down again. It looks like it'll get locked in at the halt down. We haven't seen that price action like that in a long time, right? That is the gunslinging price action we love. And it's kind of insane to see the stock even move like that. No trades there. Depending on how, again, if this resumption can calm down a little bit and we can see some candlesticks, there can be a pattern here, you know, in the consolidation to get in. If we can see a good red to green, but we are pretty extended, so, you know, seeing some pullback here is no problem. That one was like the wild, wild west right there. Oh my god. Chatroom remains funny all the time. Yeah, so CGTL was moving up a little bit. CGTL. How do we do? I could attempt break of. I might attempt break of one right here. Um. There's a couple sellers. Scratch trade there. We got 2 minutes 55 seconds to resumption, by the way. Long 02. There's 04, 05. Taking a couple cents for a small trade. CGTL on the other monitor here. I need to see the 5-minute chart, which I don't have up. And I'm missing this trade. I'm going to give it a tight stop here for the retest of one. That resumption is 1 minute 27 seconds away. Where are those bulls? And I'm back out for a small loss of 20 bucks or so. We're seeing 96 now. Only green 80 bucks there over those 3 trades. CGTL. The resumption is in 1 minute for this other one here. I'm not trying to switch back and forth too many times. It just takes up too much time, right? Pulling up the chart here. I just wait for the resumption. This other one, CGTL, back down to 91. Big pullback there, actually. 5-minute pullback. So again, BBGI Can we see something a little bit calm out of the resumption for candlesticks, consolidation, and then a potential red to green? That's what I'm interested in here, setup wise. I wonder if I'll even get filled the way how fast, it's moving like really quick. So hopefully, again, it calms down just a little bit in terms of the speed of the price action. Not looking to hyper scalp it, although it's an option. BBGI, here we go. We had about 8:30 to 9:20 there in 1 second. $52 halt up. Bro, I didn't even think stocks could move like this anymore. It's just good to see, actually. Did anybody take the dip at 30s? Tim is saying the same thing in the chat room, bro. Like, it is flying, right? It's just because we're not seeing it, regularly anymore. So when you do see it, it's like, whoa, you know. That is some quick price action. I mean, even for hyper scalping, maybe, right? That is some quick price action. And then with the market orders, where are you gonna get filled? Like if I tried to buy 30 there, hopefully it'd get filled close to it for the push back up. But then the risk is so high there too, because the halt down is a possibility, right? So again, no trades for me there. So CGTL, again, 5-minute pullback here. The red to green, I think, could be worth it. So I'm gonna keep an eye out. We had lows though all the way down at 90. Oh my goodness. Oh. Let's flatten that. Okay, let's click on this. Let's see. I got some nice hotkeys here. 1, 2, okay. QWAS 8, in case we need to size up here over time. And then control short. Why does it say short? Short, okay, I see. NM JK IO, okay. So yeah, CGTL is back down at the lows here. So in one account we're red 274, the other account we're green just $78. We're down $200 here to start the day, and no trade sadly. BBGI. It's halted up. It's halted up pretty much at high of day. Do I want to look at the dip and rip here? I think if we can see some candlesticks, it could be good. The dip and rip could be worth it here. I mean, I would have expected more of a pullback, but it's right back up, which is fine. There's 2 minutes to the resumption. It's showing $10 resumption, which is slightly over high of day. And I'm thinking here. Oh, shoots, I'm missing the freaking thing. CGTL is back at 96. We didn't quite have a double bottom, more so a higher low, which was good. It's moving. The volume is really low here, though. Resumption, 1 minute, 5 seconds. A minute and 5 seconds. So the dip and rip is an option here. Outside of that, you know, if it does eventually give candlesticks, will be good. That way we can get more patterns going. That way we can get more patterns going. IRBT Titanic. Titanic disaster. 10 seconds for BBGI resumption. 5 seconds. We're at 9:52. 10-minute halt. Yeah, CGTL. Let's see. 94 though. I kind of slept on that setup there. Is it worth high of day? Maybe. Watching CGTL for a potential high if they push. The volume seems a little low though. You know, we did have some big green volume the last move at 105. We'll see. Such a slow burner. Taking a starter at 99 right here. Watching for the tighter pullback and then the retest. Willing to add. Only 2K size starter. CGTL watching on the other screen here. Taking some more. And I'm taking a loss. That's not going to be good. Well, red $100 on the stock now. Not good. Let me check my 5-minute candlestick, which I don't have up again. CGTL. Oh, yeah, that did look pretty good. There's 2 minutes to the resumption. Well, that's going to put us red 370 on the day now. Not good. We're pulling back to the VWAP there off the highs. The full retracement pullbacks, I tell you. So down 370 on the day. Gotta be a little careful here. And our one stock that's holding up is moving on steroids. We got a minute, 7 seconds. CGTL looks like it has good potential, but the volume, is definitely lighter than we'd expect for this type of price. Like 500,000 shares a candle at $1 is, not that impressive. We're getting more volume on this BBGI at $10 in 1 minute. 30 seconds. Watching the dip and rip here. Couple hundred shares. I think the key, of course, will be to get a good fill. It's showing 1040 resumption. We're currently at 950. Here we go. Ah, damn, bro. No fill. Holy smokes. Damn. Yeah, I should have used market order there. I tried for 1050. Damn. That wasn't bad. Did anybody get that trade here in the chat? Oh, man. Big Steve, please tell me you got that trade, brother. Oh, not trading it? Oh, man. Bro, freaking hell. And I did go for more size too. I went for 1,200 shares, which would have been a good move there. The higher the price goes, the more risk is involved. And right there, we had the break of high of day. Now it's a little bit more uncharted territory. We'd hope it keeps going just for the sake of short sellers getting squeezed. But the risk is going to be, another magnitude higher here. And we already saw instant halt down, so you got to watch out. Man. Let me make sure this order is canceled, by the way, because what I don't need is for it to come back down and I get filled not being here. CGTL sold off there. I that dip opportunity was there though, right? Was it high risk? Like if we saw more selling, obviously it's like a 50-cent risk from 1050. We would have probably saw like $10, 990s, maybe lower. But it did show, and it went up pretty quickly. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, the day is not looking too good because you know this stock has moved up so much, right? We went from 5 to 10, 100%. We haven't gotten a trade, and the other stocks have been, which we probably should have never looked at any of the other ones. They've been a little weaker. These days, we're not really seeing multiple stocks in a day be very strong consistently. So unless there's like some good sympathy momentum, you know, once this one is done, that's probably going to be it. And again, the higher we go, there's even more and more risk, right? Ideally, if we're watching this thing from the open, we're already taking the red to green trades down there at break of 640. You're already green nicely here and reducing size. You've already made your day in reducing size here as the risk is getting even higher and higher. So to already be red on the other stocks and then coming into this stock in a place where the risk is just immense is like the odds are, can you pull it off? Of course you can, right? There's always that possibility that you can thread the needle in here if you're now going to take a trade, but it doesn't make sense risk management wise. So I'm kind of sidelined, and again, so for those reasons, the day not looking so good. Not looking so good. There's another 4 minutes and 15 seconds. This is what we needed IRBT to become, giving a nice sweet move up into 95, halting up, maybe resuming at 550 and taking off like this. $20K size. Bro, why can't I freaking... I'm so... This dyslexia thing, I'm telling you. I keep typing the words backwards or mixing up letters like M and N. 20K size. Or there are some freaking aggressive traders for sure. Big Steve, there's this guy is in 20K size break of 11. What are we doing with our lives, bro? And I tried 1200 shares down there to 1050. Like, man, cooked. Need to get the mindset of slamming 9K size 1050. But the risk is real, though, right? I mean, with that, dang, that's a lot of risk, right? But 10,000 shares, 1050. The risk is at least 50 cents minimum. You can lose that 7K in the blink of an eye for the chance of potentially making, in terms of risk to reward and resumptions, some trades can be a 1-to-1, but if you're in the uptrend, the odds are is that we can hold up the support levels. And so you get a chance at potentially making 50 cents or more if we get the continuation. But getting the fills would more than likely be spread out from like 1050 if you're lucky, all the way to like probably 11, which in itself is a problem with a market order, of course. with the offsets, the limit with the offsets, which is what I attempted there. I didn't even get filled. $40 seconds for those of you looking to take some trades here. Allen in at $9, small size. 20 seconds. Bro, IRBT, bro. Tell you these stocks. Post that screenshot again, please, in the chat. Let's see the result of that 20K size at 11. Oh my god. Stuck on the sidelines. It is a little. I mean, man, you know, it's all good. Bro, I look at every other stock beside this stock early, and this ends up being the strong one. The one with the uptrend that's been over 100%. I'm actually curious for the news on this one. BBGI, not BBIG, BBGI. Broadcasting group. Doesn't seem like there's any recent news. Says 30 days ago. Third quarter revenue 51 million 30 days ago. Well, who have shares in this company, they're having a field day right now. I'm guessing it might have had a couple of splits. It looks like it definitely. Well, it's hard to say. If it didn't have a split, then it's down bad. This is tough. Tough chart here. They're probably not having a field day then. Although they would have averaged down severely. So even this could put some people back into the green. This is a tough chart if you like investing in this company. Started off fairly good though. 87 bucks up to 287, right? Pretty good. But then just Titanic. This is where Rata Green will say a lot of people lost their lives on that day, but you know, a lot of people lost their money on this stock too, as it's sinking into the abyss, into the slums. So we're at 370, and it doesn't, you know, again, we're kind of like, it's like when I see this stock, I don't feel the FOMO though, right? Because of how how everything transpired. If I was watching at it from the start, it would have been a big issue. False halt down right there, or is it halting down? Looks like it is halting down. Oh man. Oh man, sidelines. I'm checking in on a YouTube stream right now. Here, I'll pull my P&L down. By the way, so right now we're at 270 in one account, and we're at another 100 here in the other account. In the slums here today, and no trades on the hottest stock of the day, BBGI. Complete another slums. If my order of 1,200 shares got filled to 1050 area, I would have made a minimum of 50 cents, which would have been around 600 bucks. And that would have at least put us back to small green. After that trade didn't get filled, we didn't attempt to trade up there at 11, and then the last halt up as well. That one was the third one in a row, which for me is just a big no-no. The second one in a row, I can always try, you know, and this is after the red candle, after the halt down. It's like a bit of a reset. We're at 370. Well, we're at 400. There's $17 extra there. What are the people saying here? Let's see. Someone's saying hopefully it sets the tone for tomorrow. I don't know, man. Not like last year, if a stock like this comes, do you know the next even not even the next day, we're gonna see something else power hour, 1 p.m. maybe. I don't know if we'll see aggression like this. It almost seems weird, right? Because stocks are usually taking minutes to resolve and give a breakout. So to see something actually move like what we would call normal for last year, it's kind of interesting. This is the type of stock we would be hyper scalping, like mad men, mad women, just buying, buying, buying. Okay, I'll move the P&L. I'll bring it back at the end of the stream again. I know some people are pretty frustrated about me not having the P&L up all the time. I'll see something, right? I gotta check something. I'm gonna play around in the settings for a couple of minutes just to see if I can have more windows and then have the realized unrealized down here. That I don't mind, but I'm not interested in showing all my cost basis in every single trade. So it seems like where we might get some actual candlesticks is already backside, right? What are the odds that this goes to $20? Oh, halting down. Yeah, I'll actually let me do it right now. I'm not trading, right? Let's see. Um, Hold up, just to make sure I don't show my account number. I'm gonna actually go to the disclaimer screen here. When you're doing this YouTube thing, people. I don't like to say this, but people have tried me before. you know, so when I'm kind of like a little like I don't want to show everything in terms of like if I'm gonna go into my settings and play around, this screen right here is my main monitor. Like things can populate here, and I don't need my account number and all that stuff like getting out. But people, I don't like to say that, but people have tried me before. They've been unsuccessful, of course, but that haven't stopped them from trying. When you put yourself into the space of like hundreds of people watching you, you gotta make sure you're doing everything the safe way, the right way. I want to tell once I'm like ready to retire from trading when I'm old, then I can tell the story of like what happened. I can't say nothing about that right now because I don't want to give anybody any sort of like encouragement or any nonsense. If I'm working hard, they gotta work hard too. It can't be sweet and easy. So let me just see here. Settings. Let's see. Don't forget our disclaimer, by the way. Okay. As expected, it pops up on the main screen, right? You gotta be thinking one step ahead, brother, or be prepared to get cooked. Columns, account symbol, and type must be selected. Where is it though? Where is it? Okay, there it is. Okay, config, average cost. I need to take a trade in something. Let me pull up. What was the other one? IRBT. Let me just like take a quick 100 shares here just to see something. It's like the order entry window. Then on this one, it doesn't. I guess I don't really need this one. It doesn't show it, but okay. Let me try it with close positions. Oh, say okay. So let's see. One sec. I'm gonna come back to the main screen here in a sec. It doesn't allow me to duplicate this order entry, not order entry, the positions window with close positions. Let me try the other one. I'm gonna try all of them just to be sure. Positions number 2. Can this one work? Maybe positions number 2 can work. Okay. Count, shares, average cost, realized, unrealized. Okay, this is what I need. Let me see. Config. Now let's get rid of all this garbage we don't need. Who would possibly need that stuff? Expired time, lock time. Let's get rid of all this nonsense. Okay, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Company name we don't need. Last price we don't need. Position closed. Day unrealized. Let's get rid of the diff, DIFF. I'm not sure what that is. Market value we don't need. Withholding buying power we don't need. Get rid of that. How does this look? Hold up. Okay. Config. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Let's see. Bid. Ask. Config one more time and then position closed. We don't need that one. What does that mean? Config. Realized. But when I close, let me see. When I close this position, let me see if it looks like it's all gonna go away. See, this doesn't work either. Hmm. The only thing I could do is maybe switch them. In which case, maybe I'll only see the active position that I'm in, which could work. Let's see. Also, let me double check if I can get rid of some of these on this one, these columns. So I'd have to get rid of, let's see. Ay, ay, ay. Now the issue, I guess, well, maybe it's not an issue, but I'm gonna be trading on multiple platforms, so you know, we'll have to see. I guess we'll just kind of adjust the screen as we go. Okay, let me pull this other order entry over here. Let me jump into a trade again real quick. Let's see, config. So this one here, I'm gonna keep up top. And then this one I'll bring down here. The people forgot that the pastor has no issues, brother. I swear I tried this before a bunch of times and it's like giving me errors to where I'm like, to hell with it, you know? Okay. All right, give me 1 sec. Almost done. Almost there. Almost there. And this will come here. I can put this like this. And then this can come like this. Although this one is going to be more tricky to deal with over time. All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Okay, let's cut this trade. $15 loss for... Should have bought one share, right? Money in trading sometimes can feel like monopoly money. When I went, by the way, when I went on this trip, man, I tell you, like, it's so easy to spend money, like, because the currency is like a different, like, you know, different look, different feel. It's like, it felt like nothing to just, like, spend money, you know? It felt like nothing to spend money. All right, my screen at the top looks like it's good. This window here, you know, will adjust over time. Like once we take trades, we'll update it. But and maybe I can search. I can search in there for like a better position window. There has to be a better one somewhere. Let's see. I'm gonna find one here in another 2 minutes. Again, I'm not trading on this one. This BBGI. The opportunities came and went. Kind of just doing like screen stuff, adjusting things like that. Today felt like a day where I came in trying to keep it tight to find the hot stock. And when we did find the hot stock that was uptrending, it was kind of already like in a weird place, you know? Halts going up, not much candlesticks. I think we should have just marketed in on that trade instead of trying to, you know, buy with the offsets. Because ultimately we didn't get filled and we missed a good trade there, but you know, sometimes it happens. Let me see. I can try and find another window in here. Hold up. I'm gonna go into the settings again. Hold up, hold up. I'm gonna get rid of that scanner from I can get rid of that scanner from the DAS platform here that I'm using and put a different one. Maybe a better one. IRBT fighting for its life. It does look interesting here, I can't lie. This does look pretty interesting. It's gonna be high risk same way, but this does look interesting here. IRBT red to green. BBGI red to green rather. BBGI. Big Steve, are you going to take this one? Big Steve, are you going to take this setup, Big Steve? Um, hmm. Maybe my head is in the way too. Bro, where was this that made it like... Okay. Let's see. This is the only scanner that could... I mean, would it even work in this small space? Probably not. It's the only one that can make sense here. Nothing else will make sense because, you know, yeah, this is like... Yeah, that's not gonna work. Maybe I can make the... Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's just not gonna work. I don't want to make this chart any smaller because it's just too good. And we get to see everything. Unless we rock it out like this, maybe. Could work. Maybe. Okay, I think this could work. That way we hide a little bit of the top. And we get to see the halts at least. $46K. Yeah, Ross had 20,000 shares at break of 11. Bro, that's a mad size, bro. That is some mad size. It's some mad size, brother. That is some impressive size, really. 20,000 shares into the moon. 20,000 shares into the moon. Big Steve. This is your last chance, brother. Why am I getting the error here? What's it called? BBGI. It does look pretty good here on the red to green. The risk is going to be high. I'm going to only have 300 shares. It's already late in the day. I'm not looking to have too much risk in the trade. All right, let's see what it does here. We're at 12:33. And it looks like it's 10 minutes. Showing 13:47. Bro, that's impressive though, right? To like be able to take that type of size. I mean, that's the dream right there. I mean, it's really to like accept the risk is the big part of it. Because of course, everybody will enjoy the reward when the stock skip could follow through and you get $1 plus a share. It's the days where, you know, you take the dip or you take the breakout, it rejects or it fails. And then you're like, man, tough one. We definitely have done it to a degree, right? Yeah. If you win a lottery overnight, right? 100 million, 300 million, 500 million, and then, you know, your perspective on money is gonna change, and you know, taking a 10K loss, 20, 30K loss might mean nothing. So it can become easy, you know. But if you don't win the lottery tomorrow, you know, how can we continue to work on getting our mind in a place where we can take that kind of risk? It definitely has to be something that happens, you know, gradually. We've seen traders go from 5K size, 10K, 20K, 30K. Shout out to Save, man. Save is one of those guys who really had pushed himself to size up. You know, Crispy as well. I remember one time Crispy saying, "Hey, man, looking to increase my my risk into the new year." You know, back then maybe taking like 5K positions in the earlies. This is like years ago, right? Then going up to bigger size. Save though, man, crazy guy, crazy guy. I always talk about him because there's a day I watched him trade, like, and that day it's just so sad that like that day happened to be, of course, one of like the hottest days in the year. I'm like, okay, I woke up that day. I'm like, yeah, you know, I told him the night before, like, man, I'm gonna come and like, you know, watch over you, you know, kind of see how you're doing it. It's insane how similar everybody, you know, kind of does it, right? It's so much of the same thing, but some small differences nevertheless, right? And also the willingness to, I think we did have a $12 stock actually that day, and this guy is in there 18,000 shares, and I'm like, damn, bro, you know. So that next month when I had that day of 18K, it's like, bro, I went for it, you know. In those positions, in those circumstances where the price action is familiar and you're in a good rhythm, you feel good, you gotta just send it. You gotta know that if it doesn't work, what it'll mean, which would have been like a 6-7K loss, to have the chance of an 18K day. You know, that day in particular, Save finished up 60,000, which is some insane money to be making in one day. 60K, 60K. Now, that being said, hopefully, you know, everyone still manages their risk and not just put out massive size, because I'm talking about size. For me here, I'm actually only taking a couple hundred shares. It's all relative. The time is going to come again where the pastor is sizing up. Yeah, the ABCD here, it's showing a much higher resumption, and we have 1334 for highs. 1334. So we might end up pushing right over high of day here. We got 10 seconds. We're at 1233. Can we see a dip and rip here? Fly. A bit of a scratch trade there. No, holy fuck, I forgot to switch this shit, bro. Jesus Christ. Anyhow, it would have been a scratch trade. Damn, I keep doing that shit. Oh, I swore I did that already. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it did. Man, that would have been good to see it go. Bro, I forgot to switch my order entry on the other platform. Jesus Christ. Um, I got long at. I would have pretty much gotten long at 13. I would have been green on realized that, you know, 40, 50 cents. I didn't take it because it would have made sense to hold. We didn't get that, but once we came back down, it's like, yeah, I gotta cut that trade. It would have been a flat trade, plus or minus maybe a couple cents. These type of trades though will come down to the fill all the time, right? If you can get the good fills if you're using market. Bro, how the hell did I not remember to switch that? BBGI. So a new high and then rejection, not good. We actually saw something similar yesterday too, on on one of the hot stocks yesterday. Similar setup too. So this could be backside for sure, as in like confirm backside. People are more than likely short in this consolidation. So being that shares are not being covered to propel the move higher, and we're seeing more profit taking and a sell off in this type of position, it definitely looks as if we can wash out here. So I'm definitely not interested in taking any more trades. No, I'm not interested in a trade here. I think we're rejecting in a place where we had everything we needed to keep going. You know, it's like bucking the trend here for a strong move. Some people might keep an eye. I mean, if you keep an eye, it's not a bad thing, right? So for me, there'll be no trades on the resumption, but again, over time, maybe there could be something for the red to green. If you're watching closely, the 1 minute candle to make the new high is what started the last push in this area here. Over, what was that? Over 1120. But I think this is a good place to shut it down. It's a good place to shut it down. I know we can't see much of this chart on the screen. So after this kind of makes me feel like an idiot though, because after I had like 5 days, maybe not 5 days, like 3 days in the past where I did go into the settings and I had a lot of issues with my position windows. I'm able to get a position window at the top, which is giving me what I need here. So I can have this one here. Also, with this thing, although it doesn't show me the position overall, I can have the position of the stock I'm trading, which is good enough. Looking down is not a problem for this particular one here, because we'll always know our P&L, based off of where we're getting filled in the trade, plus or minus, right? Which is why I'm after that trade just now there that I had the wrong order entry. I'm saying it would have been like a flat trade plus or minus a couple cents. Where we're generally out in that same area after the push. This 1360 doesn't fly. Yeah, I think I'm shutting it down here. It looks like it will be, well, it might be another 10 minutes, showing a little lower resumption here, so it might be 10 minutes again, showing 1070. Some people might try to quick bounce. Again, for me, I'm on the sidelines. Keep an eye just in case it is 5 minutes, although more likely to be 10 seconds, 1075, 1075. Here we go. And it is 10 minutes. Much better screen. Yeah, too many people started complaining, so we have to figure out the settings there. Bro, I'll never. I don't know. Like people, people will be people, but me personally, like the people have to know this. At least the people who've been watching for a while, like I don't have an issue showing anything. That's like, like what kind of word or phrase can I use here besides saying it's nothing to do, like it's easy to do, right? This has been like a period slash phase of just like keeping your head down and like grinding it out, making adjustments. Not everything I want to show though, like certain things I think I got to be careful of, obviously, because now that I know that they can just ban people's accounts for nothing, you know, they can if they can ban my account for nothing, bro, like that's kind of crazy, right? The chat room, however, will still always at any time the chat room can see every single thing I see. But in terms of the masses, nah, the chat room will forever always see everything. So Big Steve, like I saw Big Steve saying yesterday, like guys, RT is still showing everything. What do you mean? But Big Steve's in the chat room where he can see everything all the time. Where like we're giving the updates in the P&L section or in the in like, you know, on my screen literally. And Big Steve is like, what are these people talking about? But not everybody's in the chat room, right? Verbal callouts doesn't seem to be enough. The people want to see P&L. So hey, why not? I'm not that stubborn. The people don't want to hear, hey, green 500, hey, red 300. The people want to see green 500 or red 300, right? The last 2 days. The people want to see with their own eyes. What I was thinking, honestly, is that because I'm so transparent that, like, if I show up here, which is a little maybe unfair, right? If I show up here with a black screen and just a voice, people would have automatically understand. Yeah, okay, we know what this guy is looking for. He said he was green 10 million today or red 500, whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah, because that's who I am, right? That's who I've always been. But apparently, your history of transparency for 7 years, 6 years mean nothing into the new day. For the new subscriber, it can mean I definitely could understand because they haven't seen you for the last couple of years, right? But for the people who've already been here for years, it's like, bruh, if I say I'm up 9,000 on a day, why would I be lying about that? If I'm red a certain amount, why would I be lying about that? Like that's been every day for the last 7 years, right? Every single day. But the people want to see, so the people will see. 11:11 resumption here, which is quite a bit lower. If it resumes that at that price and flushes out some more, the dip could be good because it is quite a drop here. This is high risk trade, of course, another high risk trade. 11:11. I'm gonna watch that trade. I mean, I really shouldn't be taking any trades, but 300 shares, nothing can't really happen risk wise. But it needs to follow through to that exact format. Can we resume lower at that price and flush out more? I gotta just be careful of a halt down in case it comes too close to the level. Flush, 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 flush. Damn. No trade. No trade. We got 75 to 11. There is a pretty big spread there, though, about 10.15 to 10.50. Hopefully nobody got caught in that spread trying for the bounce immediately. We didn't really get anything there. 75 to 11 is like pretty lame. Yeah, so the past store is not stubborn enough to not show anything here. And honestly, part of why I'm doing this too is because Marcelo's kind of like, Marcelo is like, when Marcelo and I talk to each other, there's like, a lot of respect right there. So if Marcelo also comes like, bro, RT, okay, maybe you're overdoing it, then I'm like, all right, I gotta at least think about it at that point, because the mighty isn't gonna come with any sort of like, constructive criticism if it's like all good, right? I also don't read the YouTube streams as much. So I've been missing a lot of the comments, the commentary, the comments, if you want to say the comments. So I'm about to shut it down, right? In quick summary for today, if you're now tuning in, we attempted ticker symbols IRBT, which we and actually scrolled back up here. We attempted this one in this front side push here. We came around this red candle area, this green red candle. It came up nicely. We got some decent trades with small size. We took size on the pullback here. The pullback failed miserably, so we stopped out for a loss. And then we traded what was the other one? CGTL. We traded CGTL up to 105 right here, made $100. Then we took this dip on the red to green here, and then we lost on this pullback right here. So going up right here, we made some money. And then on the pullback, we lost here. Basically taking 97, 98 for the retest of 105, and we ended up coming down to the VWAP 92. So that one was green, $100 to red, $100, not good. IRBT, we were down 200 or 170. We were down 170. We took some trades to kind of like test some things out just now. And then we lost $80 pretty early on BEAT. I think that was the first one we traded. Again, we started off green here, break of 150, selling up at 60. Took 49 on this dip over the pre-market high. If we zoom out, you get a little bit more context to the trade. Looking essentially for the break of the pre-market high. Sold into 60. Took more size on the dip. We're starting with smaller size for confirmation. Took more size on the dip here at 50 for the retest of 60. Stopped out at 45, 46 with a little bit more size. Took a loss there. So, from green to red on that one as well. And we never got a chance to trade BBGI pretty much. The one good trade that we had, we didn't get filled. And from there, we didn't take any other entry. So it's a kind of a day where it feels like we were fishing for that strong stock. And ultimately, when we did see it, we didn't really get a chance, a proper chance. The one thing I would do differently, I tried an order with an offset. I should have just marketed in straight up. I would have gotten maybe a higher fill, but at least I would have been filled in the trade, and we would have made 50 cents minimum. I mean, it was an instant trade, right? The moment we're in, the follow through, very reminiscent of what we saw last year and earlier this year, which is stocks going up 50, 60 cents within seconds versus taking a couple minutes like what we've been seeing here more regularly, right? So it's a day where we kind of had some scratch trades trying to find that hot stock, and the hot stock came along. We didn't get filled on one of our better trades there, and then no trades after that, which was BBGI. Red $300 here on the day. Red $400 on the day. So again, right, when we have, whether it's BBGI or something similar to yesterday or the day before, it's why it's important for me to be able to get in with good size on those particular days, right? Like right now we're seeing like a 1-to-1 in the P&L. On the hotter days where we're connecting nicely and doing well, for one reason or another, we haven't had size in those trades. So let's say some starter positions where we didn't get to add, or maybe just smaller size that we took in general. Um, a day like yesterday, we're up $600. But for a day like today, where we only saw some scratch trades, essentially trying to find the hot stock, being down 400 is not good, right? So, or let's rephrase that: being down 400 is fine. What's not good is only being up 600 on a day like yesterday, where we pretty much captured every single move, right? With size, that's why the size is important in those areas on those days. We're gonna have that, we're gonna have that much better ratio in terms of the green day maybe being somewhere around like 1800, 2K, 2500 versus some scratch trades down 350, 450, whatever, right? And assuming that we do see a stock that uptrends, what we've been seeing is that we're gonna do well almost every time. BBGI, I'd say is a little, it's a little interesting, this one. I mean, we haven't really seen a stock like this in months. This is the old way of trading right here, right? We haven't really seen this in a long time. It almost feels like, especially when we come to it and it's already at $8. It just feels so extended already, right? We did do a good job of putting out that trade at 1050 on this candlestick here, but it's always tough to show up midway in a move like this, especially with the context of the current market condition we've been seeing. I mean, even if we're hyper scalping every day and seeing this, it's still tough to show up like at $10, $9, $8 when we're starting down at $5. Ideally, we should have been watching at this one instead of the others we traded first. They all gave a good front side, but this one actually held up the first 5 minutes and not just sold off right away. Yeah, people made money on this, I mean, first high of day trade here, first halt. I was a little too tunnel vision on the other stocks I was looking at and not checking the scans in the chat fast enough here to capture this move. All right, but yeah, this is where I'm going to shut it down. Tomorrow, hopefully, we can see something strong again, and also we got to do a slightly better job of just making sure to check the scans. I kind of fell victim to always, not always, to this thing we're always seeing like a stock of like slower moving one stock of the day kind of thing. The last like 3 weeks, that's what it's been. The first stock to hold up its key levels has been the stock to kind of make the new highs and keep going. So once we had that in IRBT, I wasn't looking to switch away to other opportunities because that's kind of been the trend. But today we had two stocks moving up at the same time, and I didn't look at this one at all until $8. So it's flagging here. Some people might keep looking at it, but I'd say the better opportunities came and went. It doesn't mean that it can't get over the highs again and go to 15, 16, but I think the opportunities here might be a little bit more difficult to anticipate and capture. And so for me, even on a halt up like this, if it halts up here, I'm shutting it down. All right, guys. Catch you later. Stay safe, stay green. And if there's something fresh for Power Hour, that can be pretty good too. All right, I think that is it. I gotta get a haircut for next week, man. Come in here fresh on the stream. Right now, my hairline is cooked. Pulling out the Vegeta. Pulling out the Vegeta. Swing trades. It doesn't seem like there's any questions or anything. Yeah. Yeah, hyper scalping, in the slums. Although today is a day where we saw some hyper scalping kind of moves on BBGI, right? Oh my god. The YouTube stream is like the wild, wild west, bro. Holy smokes. All right, guys, take care, stay safe, stay green. It's definitely a lot of new people here, I'd say. Like a lot of these names are not really familiar. Yeah, take care, stay safe, stay green. Stay green.